several different legends of various sync stats to just have that weapon in general. But TB staying loyal to his Hattori.
So I said that TV may swap to Bodvar, but apparently it was the opposite.
Yeah, Maltager
Maltager
swapping
is the one that swapped.
despite an interesting performance against Egg Soup and his explosive KOs. Maltager, wow, stops that approach to the stop, but doesn't get the
But
side
here's the
follow-up.
case, you know, they're both EU players. Maybe Maltager just played against TB in the past.
True.
Maybe he's like, you know, I feel like my Bodvar does better.
It's very possible. There's a lot of matchups that we're seeing in EU where it comes based off how players play against each other on the ladder. Like we see Brynn.
Right.
I'm not quite sure what it comes from Bryn's legend picks, but he picked Cassidy in that matchup consistently, while he picked Ada and Diana in another matchup previously. So Maltager going with the hammer, goes for that downstick, doesn't quite connect. Very slow move, but doesn't get punished. Another charge downstick coming out. He's just trying to end the stock from TB, trying to read, I guess, him dodging in, but weapon toss into ground pound comes out, and TB's actually really struggling to get around Maltager's options. He was throwing out really heavy moves in areas that made TB want to run away rather than punish. And Maltager ends up taking that first stock without barely taking any damage. But Pogo Stick comes out. Maltager recovers to the center of Thunderguard. Weapon toss to be able to interrupt that D-Light Cider from TB, but he gets another one. And TB goes for that ground pound as Maltager interrupts it with a weapon toss. Goes for another ground pound with a hammer. And Maltager favoring the hammer in this matchup over the sword.
Ooh. Maltager took out TB stock quite fast though. Right now, he's struggling getting damage on him. TB is slowly coming back. However, it might change soon.
TB holding onto the spear, goes for that side light, trying to end Maltager's stock. Despite that early lead from Maltager, side stick will end it, and TB actually evens it up quite quickly, barely taking any damage after he lost that first stock. D-Light Cider comes out, Maltager dances around, waits for a favorable weapon spawn. TB tries to punish it with a D-Light, but Maltager goes low. You taking advantage of Thunderguard Stadium appropriately. Finds the sword, Sidelight comes out, goes for a Cider follow-up. Side stick gets interrupted by a neutral light from TB, and TB tosses his weapon aside as he tries to fight Maltager off the stage. Cider from TB. TB goes for a ground pound. Maltager gets the recovery. Maltager's playing around with the sword right now. Goes for a side stick, and TB is actually trading quite evenly.
I feel like at this point that Maltager had a heavy lead, but TB may have adjusted, and just to say that TB takes a ground pound to the face. Not the most optimal scenario, but
yeah, ground pound is straight up reading TB's movement when it comes to the center of the stage. I always see when players like to put out ground pounds, hammer, unarmed, whatever. When it comes to playing around places that have a shenanigan zone like that, it's best to put the ground pound not next to the wall, but somewhere in the center to read a jump. And that's going to be the least likely to be punished. It actually goes for that recovery there, and it makes TB drop the bomb. Maltager finds himself only in the orange. TB tries to go in for a dive kick and gets punished by D-Light Side Air. Gets that side air of his own as Maltager guys tries to go for an end-sig read, but Maltager putting out a decent amount of damage onto TB's Hattori. Cider comes out, neutral light. Doing a good amount of damage to TB. Weapon toss into a recovery to be able to put himself high. Still not losing his stock. Goes for a Cider as he picks up the weapon and knocked back by a Cider from the spear, and Maltager forced to go low. Wow, recovery doesn't connect. That would have been devastating. And second recovery comes out. No players are respecting hammer recovery today. And Maltager bumps his head on Thunderguard and kills himself. I feel like he could have... He would have made it back if he didn't hit his head.
If he didn't hit his head, he would have actually maybe killed TB, because TB was coming in with a ground pound and Maltager was going for the recovery. And, wow. And he taunts before he even dies.
Starlight pushes TB into the mine, killing him off the top of the map. Reminiscent of how Egg Soup dies, but unfortunately Maltager forced it into TB rather than TB taking his own sack.
Bomb mind bender. Yeah, I feel like he's like, you know, controlling these mines. It's scary. Definitely scary.
Maltager takes the game and switches immediately to Brynn before map bans even happen, which is something that you can do. You're not legend locked when you win a game, but you definitely do have to pick your legend. Yeah, before you do bans and before they pick their legend. So TB,
which is the best rule set in my opinion.
Yeah, it kind of allows the player to feel comfortable with whatever they're picking and feel like they're not locked into something, into like an auto-lose situation. As we see both players actually switching their legends. TB switching to Bodvar, Maltager switching to Brynn as they go to King's Pass. Sporting that shenanigan zone once again, but this time without a platform in the center. Essentially two stages that they're playing on, and Maltager gets opened up on by TB's unarmed combo.
I don't think I've ever seen Maltager play Brynn. But he has spears, so I mean...
Ooh,
Something that they need
TB
to do.
waits Maltager out on the side of the stage there, goes for a ground pound, but Maltager is able to actually get past that ground pound this time, finds a dare, goes in for a side light. Ooh, GC side light. I feel like that was a mistake, and TB opens up with a side air. Recovery actually comes out, prevent TB from approaching, but that down air might actually do it.
Wow.
That was an odd stock to say the least, but TV was able to punish Maltager's offstage gameplay as well as possible. Ooh, gives out the taunt, and this isn't the BPM. I believe this is Maltager saying that he's got connection issues.
Dude, just knock him out. It's a tournament. What are you? No, I was kidding. Imagine. I would probably do that, but let's not tell the people. I'm a very respectable and honorable person. I prefer to honor. I'd knock him out, but
gives him a facepalm. But yeah, Maltager, I'm used to seeing him have connection issues before. That's happened in NA tournaments, but I always thought that was because of the EU ping. Could just be something that he's got on his end.
No, he's EU.
So we'll see what happens. He gives the taunt to say that he's ready to go back into it, and TB has absolutely no patience on that. Immediately goes in for a side light, wants to be able to end his stocks as quickly as possible. Maltager holds on to the spear, lands with the neutral there, goes in for the neutral light, and TB is hit by that D-light side air.
Maltager coming out really hot. I feel like, you know, he just hit the guidebooks. He was like, how to beat Bodvar 101.
Well, there's also the case, I know it's not an excuse, but sometimes it comes to a point where, like, a player can have momentum, and being able to stop the stock in the middle of the game like that so much could force TB to kind of relax and put him in a position where he can be punished. But that side stick comes out, and Maltager evens it up quite quickly after that short little display of lack.
I think he missed it, but he, like, did a momentum dodge into reverse side sig. That was a knockout. It was kind of crazy option. Pretty cool, but it's already almost evened up. At least a disaster situation was gamed.
Ooh, Maltager goes below the stage, playing a little bit patiently, maybe having more internet connection issues, but still makes it back on the stage, has the cider with the spear, just throwing out those ciders over and over again. Ooh, tosses the spear into the middle of King's Pass and actually bumps TB on the head. Doesn't go for any follow-up, however, but both players find themselves in the red. Goes for a side sig. TB doesn't punish, and Recovery ends up disarming TB. TB goes for that dive kick, holds onto the hammer, sidelight, misses, and the D-light cider will definitely take his stock as a result of missing that sidelight.
Just like that. Maltager is, he has, I'll really like that combo. He has this funny thing with spear where he just hits someone with recovery and then just goes up as fast as possible and then spams another recovery. Something that Flutter used to do actually a lot back in the day.
Ooh, neutral air comes out.
Recoveries into recoveries.
Yeah, it's something that I don't see a lot of players do, and wow, that D-light cider into neutral air comes out, and recovery kills him, but TB took so much damage on that stock. TB tosses the mine aside, holds onto the sword, tries to put the sword into the mine, but Maltager definitely wants to get rid of that mine, because Maltager seems to be a mine bender, if anything, and down stick comes out. Holds onto the spear, tosses aside, goes for the axe, I'm assuming, and yeah, there it is. Recovery thrown out into his side air, using that recovery to reposition to maybe get himself into a better area to be able to throw that move. I like being able to see that Maltager using the recovery, not just to recover or to hit, but put him in a position to where he might be able to find a more favorable axe aerial, and a side air ends up connecting TB, forced to go low. Down sig, I feel like he tried to slide charge that, and a Valkyrie actually interrupts him for going in for that side sig. Whoa! But spear toss into ground pound will end it, and despite a dominating first stock from TB, Maltager is able to take it back.